Ladies and gents, girls and boys, Danny Stewart here, bassjapandirect.com with a quick video which serves two purposes basically. This is a pre-shipment test on this tuned TWB5 from the early 90s. It's beautiful. On the rear pickup, and this is in my preferred setting on this particular preamp. So this has the new preamp installed, and that's the other purpose of this video, is to talk about that. So unfortunately, Tune have had a lot of problems with their stuff over the years. They got ripped off by Tune Korea way back. And since then they don't produce the GZP2 preamp anymore. Tune Korea still produces it apparently. I've tried to get the part, but it never showed up, so I got ripped off too. So that sucks, but I like this preamp, and this is a 2-band preamp. Bass, treble, and master tone. Very bright, with even with the master tone down, that's quite yeah, it's nice though. It's got a lot of nose, hasn't it? But I like to take the treble down. That's about ideal as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's really nice. Just letting these strings settle in as well. So that's basically what I wanted to run through on this. Also, just to demonstrate the setup of this bass before it ships out. So this is an early 90s tune, TWB, and you can tell the earlier ones because they had a sandwich type body, which I much prefer to the later ones, which were just a single plain back with a top. So this one is mahogany center with a mahogany back and I think it's a striped koa top. Whatever this top is, it's gorgeous. So it's a really well made bass, and then you've got a ebony fretboard on a 3-piece quarter sawn and rift sawn combination neck there. So it's really good stuff, and this one is still healthy. Yeah. Lovely. So there's a lot of headroom on the preamp there. Now the cool thing about this setup is that I've wired it in so it's like a bossa. So you've got this switch here which will give you a slap mode. So you can go from the rear pickup, you flick this switch up, and that's going to give you the outer coils. Very good. So that's really, really nice and crispy. And like if you go with the full, with the treble and the master tone all the way up, it's too much. That's with the master tone down. So I like to have the treble at notch, somewhere in the middle. It's not actually notched. It's boost and cut. Actually, it's just a boost type on this preamp, but it's voiced very nicely. So if you have it somewhere like 50%, I think that's ideal. Yeah, it sounds great. And then if you pan to the other way, just like on a Bossa, this will give you the inner coils. So that's the inner coils. Let's go to the outer coils. Inner. You hear the difference? You can hear it get a little bit more focus when it's just the inner coils, when it's panned to the front, and then you can hear it get wider and more glassy. When it gets when it's panned to the outer coils in the rear setting. So that's wonderful. And then of course, if you want to go to the front pickup only, you go from slap mode to, you pan to the front, you go from slap mode, flick it into normal mode, and then you're on the front pickup. So that's a front pickup with my preferred settings. I don't think you need any more headroom than that, although it's there if you want it. And let's just go with the treble down and the master tone down. It's nice and fat, isn't it? And finger style, yeah. So, and then with everything dialed up. Too crispy, really. Again, you don't need all that headroom, so I would just have it back at about 50% on both. Of course, it's down to your taste, but yeah, I think it sounds great. And the tune pickups are actually in a very similar position to the Bossa, slightly wider apart, but they're basically the same pickups, because Bossa was made by Tune, essentially. The production models like that one were, I think, entirely made by Tune, whereas the custom ones were made partially by Tune and then finished by Setozeki-san in his little workshop, which was actually very nearby Tune anyway, back in the day. So that's why, that's why the Bossa were using the Tune bridge. You'll notice this bridge is exactly the same as that bridge. Yeah, they were using the same preamps as well in the Bossa. But the slap switch was something that they only did in the Bossa. The Tune didn't come with that. They did, I think they did a phase switch and an active passive switch or a mid switch or something on the original hybrid model. Like this one, it would have had like the mid switch and active passive switch. So it's a little bit different, but I wired these in so that they have the slap switch just like the Bossa, and they sound pretty similar, really. I mean, this preamp doesn't quite sound the same as a GZP2, but it's got a lot more headroom on this preamp. It's voiced a lot higher, so But yeah, this is an ideal setting, I think. So that's an interesting thing about tune, isn't it? That maybe not a lot of you had realised. But yeah, so essentially you can get a tune bass to sound pretty much exactly like a bossa, if you have it wired with the slap switch like this one is. And I think it's a fantastic. I think it's a fantastic feature. It's one of the most useful features that I've ever come across on a bass. And the personal bass, my basses that I use for live gigs, I always wire them so that they basically have a slap switch, so I can just split between rear pickup and balanced, a good, nice, crispy, balanced slap tone, just at the flick of a switch. So that's what, yeah, that's how this circuit is set up, and yeah, that's how I recommend to use it. I would personally just have bass boosted, treble at about 50%, and then I can use the master tone to color it however I want, you know. Take the tone down. Yeah, that's ideal. That's a great slap sound. And then, but you know, the treble is too much. Gets really caustic, but it's there if you want it. So that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to say. And to the customer, this is coming out to you real soon. I do apologize about the hard case debacle. I hadn't realized the length limit to your country, and unfortunately the hard case makes the package too long, and it makes the shipping cost extremely high. I don't know why they put such a difference, just a few centimeters. You know, it's got a limit of I think the limit is 121 centimeters long, or 122. Anything above that, and the price just, it gets like to be 3 or 4 times more expensive. So we have to stick with the gig bag, unfortunately, for this one. Anyway, there you go, guys. You've been checking out the tune TWB5 from the early 90s, and this one's with the modified circuit, the new preamp. Unfortunately, as well, it seems like they're not producing this preamp anymore. I wanted to get more stock and couldn't, so that sucks. If they do make any more, I will buy many of them in, because I love this preamp. It's great. It works very, very well. Okay, that'll do it. I'll stop rambling. If you like my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it really helps. I appreciate you all always. Have a good one, and see you soon.